In sports news, Lagos Island's Pt.4 have emerged winners of the second edition of the Pt.4 Beach Soccer League. On the final day, Pt.4 thrashed Young Strikers 8-1 to confirm their champion status. Defending champions Owesiba beat Ibejuleki 5-3, but it wasn't enough to ensure that they retained their title that they won last year. In the game played earlier, Union Bank defeated Pepsi Football Academy 5-0. Eco Football Club, the organizers of the competition, believe it can aid in developing beach soccer in Nigeria.
Yeah, so far so good. It's a developmental thing. We are satisfied with the quality of play. The standard has improved greatly from what we did last year, and we're so okay. We give grace to God.
It's our first time of participating, and glory be to God, we came first. I think the NFF should show more concern in this game so that people will be employed somehow, if they can, as in encourage the league so that more youths can get clubs and play this kind of football.
Meanwhile, as the Flying Eagles prepare to go on a training tour before the start of the Africa Youth Championships, the technical crew is ready to release a final 21-man list this week. The Confederation of African Football has given midnight on Thursday as the deadline. The team currently have 28 players in the camp. That includes Belgium-based defender Wilfred Ndidi and Dolphins' new signing Christian Piagbara. Also, the scan results on Musa Yahaya and Zaharaddin Bello will be revealed this week. The 20th edition of the African Youth Championship will kick off on March the 8th in Dakar, Senegal. To today's fixtures of the English Premier League, Tottenham Hotspur came back from 2 goals down to salvage a dramatic late draw against West Ham at White Hart Lane. The visitors took the lead with goals from Sheikh Kouyaté and Diafra Sakho, but Danny Rose pulled one back with 10 minutes remaining before Harry Kane was awarded a controversial penalty deep in stoppage time. The second match of the day also ended in a draw as Matthew Upson's late own goal denied Leicester City a victory at Goodison Park. At St Mary's Stadium, Liverpool moved to within 2 points of a Champions League place after beating 5th place Southampton 2-0 with Philippe Coutinho scoring a stunner. And two-time Formula One champion Fernando Alonso has been confirmed okay and conscious after being involved in a heavy crash on the final day of the pre-season testing in Barcelona today. The Spaniard hit the wall on the exit of Turn 3 at a speed of about 150 miles per hour. The McLaren driver was taken to the circuit's medical center for initial treatment before being airlifted to hospital for precautionary checks. Investigations as to what caused the crash is still ongoing. And at the Cricket World Cup, India announced themselves genuine contenders to defend their title by soundly beating South Africa with 130 runs. Shikhar Dhawan struck a 137 and Ajinkya Rahane an explosive 79 to fire India to a huge 307-7 and ensure their opponents would need a record chase at the stadium to win. And after the Proteas dropped 3 catches, India were then outstanding in the field, sharing the wickets and running out 2 batsmen as South Africa were knocked over for 177 with 10 overs to spare, losing their last 7 wickets for 44 runs. Away from sports news, Turkey has succeeded in removing a historic Ottoman tomb and evacuated its guards in northern Syria. Turkish soldiers demolished the tomb as well as the remains of Suleiman Shah, who died in the 13th century, and moved them to a site in Syria close to the Turkish border. Suleiman Shah, who lived from about 1178 to 1236, was the grandfather, the founder of the Ottoman Empire, Osman I. Turkey's President Recep Erdogan said his government and the armed forces had carried out a successful operation beyond all kinds of appreciation. He said that all the relics at the tomb and the Turkish soldiers who had been guarding it had been brought out safe and sound. More violence continues in Ukraine as 2 people were killed today when a bomb was detonated at a rally in Kharkiv. The rally was one of several marking 1 year since the uprising that ousted former President Viktor Yanukovych. A witness said an explosive device had been thrown from a car before a loud explosion was heard and bodies dropped to the floor. Ukraine's security forces say they have detained persons who may have been involved in the preparation and carrying out of crimes of a terrorist nature in Kharkiv, including the explosion. Before the explosion today, Kharkiv in northeastern Ukraine had seen more than a dozen attacks over 3 months, including an explosion in a bar used by pro-Russian activists, which injured more than 10 people in November last year. Gunmen have abducted 89 boys during their exams at a school in the oil-rich Upper Nile state in South Sudan. Gunmen stormed the school and took the boys. No group has yet claimed responsibility for the action. Neither is the intention of the gunmen known. But there have been conflicts in South Sudan since December 2013, when fighting erupted in the capital Juba between soldiers allied to President Salva Kiir and the former Deputy President Riek Machar. At least 10,000 people have been killed and 1.5 million people internally displaced. UNICEF says about 12,000 children have been recruited into the armed groups since the outbreak of the war. And the main news again. Life has returned to Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, as residents today began their daily businesses. They also applauded the military for living up to expectations. The President, Goodluck Jonathan, today ruled out formation of an interim government. He told a gathering of Catholic bishops and faithful in Abuja that he would not encourage an undemocratic process, being a product of the ballot system himself. That's News at 10 tonight. Thank you for watching. I am Amarachi Ubani. Good night and enjoy the week ahead.